Welcome back to my session. Hi, welcome back to my session. As a part of our DBMS training, today we continue with Introduction to SQL. Okay, please, before we start the session, please subscribe to Eazy Btech channel. It is very useful for your career. Okay, come to our session, Introduction to SQL. In the last class, we discussed about what is procedural and what is the non-procedural, and what about the relational algebra. Complete all the types of relational algebra and TRS and DRS. Okay, now we continue with what is SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is used for to access the data from the database. It is used for to access the data from the database, storing data from the database. Okay, actually initially it was developed by Raymond Btech and Donald Chamberlain in the earlier 1970. Okay, later in the 1972 EF card was introduced some DBMS. Based on that, in the 1972 rewrite by the EF card from IBM. Okay, initially the name of SQL is SQL. What is SQL? Structured English Query Language. But later it may be changed as a SQL. Why? Because already one company name in UK with SQL. Okay, that's why they wanted to change SQL to SQL. Yes. Why they are using structured English query language? This is a computer programming language, but they are writing as a English. Why? Why? Because in the SQL is basically all command oriented. Suppose if you want to insert a data, create a data, we are using some create command. Okay, if you want to retrieve, what is the main aim of SQL? We have to perform some insertion, deletion and creation operations. Suppose if you want to retrieve the data, we are using select. We are using select command. All are some basic English words. That's why this is called as a structured English query language. And it is also called as a declarative language. What is a declarative language? The non-procedural language is called as a declarative language. I think already we discussed what is procedural and what is non-procedural. If you have any queries regarding this non-procedural and procedural, please watch my previous videos. Okay, for that one, please subscribe Eazy Btech channel, where if you subscribe this Eazy Btech channel, automatically you will get the updates. Okay, what are the subjects uploaded and what are the videos updated each and every minute. Okay, that's why please subscribe Eazy Btech channel. Okay, it is a standard language for relational DBMS. Okay, we have a specific languages. Suppose if we develop some basic applications, we go with the C language. Okay, normal any programming language, we go with the C language. If you want to develop some web-based applications, we go with JavaScript or Java. Okay, JavaScript or Java. Okay, suppose right now entire world in the data science. Data science is nothing but machine learning algorithms. All machine learning algorithms. Okay, nowadays we are suffering for pandemic situation, COVID. Okay, we can get our reports within rapid test and RT-PCR test, whatever it may be, we can get the reports. How we can get the reports? They are analysis our data. Okay, how they are analysis the data? For analysis data, we are using Python. We have another language also there. The basic programming language to analysis the data, we are using R and Python. Okay, we have different servers, Azure server, some different servers. By using those servers, they are analyzing data by using R and Python. Similarly, each and every means based on our applications, based on our requirement, we can go. Suppose for example, okay, if you have some placement, you go with compulsory formal. If you have attended for party, okay, you go with some jeans and t-shirts. Okay, like that. Okay, basic. Similarly, if you go with access the data from the relational database, we go with the standard language, that is a SQL. Okay, what is the use of SQL? What we can do by using SQL? By using SQL, we create read means select, update and delete operations. Okay, and also some other query language also, MySQL, MS Access, SQL Server, okay, data, all are used for to store the data and to retrieve the data from a database. Okay, SQL allows user to query the database in a number of ways. Okay, just like English, already we discussed. Next, what are the rules? What are the rules for a SQL? Okay, SQL has some rules. What is the first rule? SQL query language not a case sensitive. Suppose if you take a C language, some Java, that is a case sensitive programming language. Compulsory we are using lowercase letters only. But whereas in SQL not required, this is not a case sensitive programming language. Generally we are using keywords in SQL in the form of uppercase letters only. Suppose if you are using null is a keyword. Okay, compulsory we are using uppercase letters only. Primary key we are using primary key is a uppercase letter. And also if you want to write a query, you are using uppercase letters as well as lowercase letters. Next session is a completely practical oriented session. That's why at the time we will discuss how to create a table, and I will write a program by using, I will write a query by using total uppercase letters as well as lowercase letters. There is no restrictions. This is not a case sensitive language. Next, SQL statements are dependent on a text line. Okay, SQL statements are dependent on a text line. We can use a single SQL statement, one or more multiple text lines. Okay, this is a compulsory. I think already we discussed. This is we can write a query in the form of English. English is nothing but a text format. That's why it is dependent upon a text line. We can write two or more text lines. Okay, based on the text line only, we can SQL can execute the query. Next, using the SQL statement, you can perform most of the actions in a database. Yes. What type of operations we can perform? Most of operations means, okay, you create a database. Suppose if you are a student, create a student database. Then I wanted to add attendance. Okay, just I wanted to add attendance. Already select the attendance. Suppose select star from student, or update some attendance equal some 75% where student number is 564, like that. Okay. SQL depend upon a tuple relational calculus and relational algebra. Okay, SQL stands already in the previous section we discussed. Okay, first of all we have a relational algebra, some query language. Query language is classified into two types: tuple relational calculus and relational algebra. The SQL stands for both relational algebra as well as structured query language, relational algebra as well as relational calculus. Again, relational calculus we have two types: TRS, tuple relational calculus, TRC, and TRC, domain relational calculus. Okay, these SQL follow the following rules. Total we have 4 rules. It follow the following rules. These are the simple rules. Okay, once we start the practice, then you know total details. Next, SQL process. Okay, means once you have to give a query, how it process internally. When SQL command is executing for a database, okay, it figure out the best way how we can determine and how to without interrupting the task. In a process, we have some different components. I will explain by using some diagram. Okay, here SQL processing means as a user you have to give a process. Suppose if you want to retrieve, select, I want to retrieve the data of particular student. Select star from student, means student is a database name, student, where this is an unprocedural programming language. We are not giving step by step, only we are giving some single statement where student number, student ID equal suppose 101. When we give the particular question, as a user we give the particular question, SQL queries parser. Parser is nothing but dividing into parts. Dividing into subparts is called as a process. This is a parsing. This is called as a parser. Parser is nothing but dividing. Select. Okay. Why? Because the SQL having some different commands. Okay. First, what about user? User wants some select command. Okay. From which database? Student database. What is the condition? Some student number is 101. Okay, that's why here we have two types of optimizers. Means parser is nothing but dividing is nothing but optimizing the problem. Okay, we have a rule based optimizer and a cost based optimizer. Before Oracle 7 we are using the rule based optimizer. Rule based optimizer is nothing but it can check entire database. Okay, whereas in the cost based optimizer is nothing but it check in only in the table. Okay, rule based optimizer is nothing but check all the tables. Suppose in a database consists of 100 tables, it check line by line, okay, according to by using some rules. But cost based optimizer is nothing but it check as a tables. Okay, first check there is exist student table or not. If the student table is exist, directly it can exist. Okay, row source generation is nothing but once it check rule based process optimizer or cost based optimizer. Okay, anyway, right now we are using Oracle 11. That's why it most probably we are using cost based optimizer. Okay, if you have any comments, any doubts regarding rule based optimizer and cost based optimizer, please comment me. I will give exact reply between the rule based optimizer and cost based optimizer. But remember, before Oracle 7 we are using some rule based optimizer. Now total data we can retrieve by using CBO, cost based optimizer. Okay, once we can check optimization, then query plan. What is the query plan? Select star from student where student number equal 101. Okay, open the student data. In the student data also, suppose if you take a class section, the maximum of 60 to 70 members. Yes or no? Maximum of 60 to 70 members in a section. Okay, but only in the particular 60 to 70 only I want only the student rule number is 101. The student number is 101. Okay, completely DBMS engine, SQL engine, check that engine. What is the use of SQL engine? SQL engine is check what are the commands. Okay, some DDL commands, DML commands, later we will discuss. Okay, it check what type of query. This is a select. That's why generate a row from the physical database. Okay, DBMS engine perform specific some tasks and execute. What suppose in this particular student database it is having student number 101, student name some Ramu, and student name completed, student marks 95%, and student fee some 1 lakh. Okay, like that. Okay, it represent only some, it having only 4 columns in the student table. For example, it print only the 4 columns only, means entire row. The row also called as a tuple. Only row with the student number is 101. This is an internal process. Not only this is only example. If you go with your ATM also, when you are insert, okay, when you are insert our ATM. Otherwise, if you go with the online transaction, if you wanted to perform online transaction, check with the data in the database. Okay, once the database is checked, okay, here it perform, okay, dictionary statistical basis. Okay, once it complete and check the suppose if you wanted to withdraw, first check whether the user is exist or not. If the user is exist, check. Suppose if you wanted to retrieve some balance inquiry, okay, which SQL execution, the SQL execution, there are some triggers. Okay, anyway, after completion of some SQL commands, we go with the triggers. Okay, in the trigger, what type of action perform? Okay, as a user, you wanted to check about the balance. Okay, check balance. Only execute the physical database. Physical database is nothing but this is a bank database. Suppose if you are having some bank of SBI bank, okay, interacting with the SBI bank and check with the branch. Suppose if you are from Dilshnar bank, check with the Dilshnar branch and open the database. And as a user, if you wanted to access some data of current balance or check balance, it print only balance. Suppose if your balance is 75,000, current balance is 75,000, it print only 75,000. Okay, this is the internal process of SQL. Okay, next, what are the characteristics of SQL? The SQL have some characteristics. First, it is easy. Okay, suppose if you take some C, C++, Java, okay, there are some header files, okay, and a specific structure. Okay, we have a specific structure. If you suppose, if you take some C language, okay, printf, you wanted to print some format specifier, yes or no? If you print integer value, you are using percentage d. Okay, if you print some string, we are using percentages, some specific structure by using. But whereas it is easy to learn, no need to remember all header files, all those things. SQL is used to access the data from relational database management system, as already we discussed. SQL execute against the database. Yes, all the commands we can execute against the database. Okay, and it is used to describe the data. Describe the data is nothing but when you have to when you are selecting the data from a database, we can check with the database. SQL is used to define the data in the database and manipulated when it needed. Next, SQL is used to create and drop operations. It performs some create and drop operations. SQL allow user to set permission. Okay, here we have to put a, by using the key constraints, we have to put a, some specific permissions, and also we have to give some permissions to view the data. Okay. Next, what are the advantages of SQL? Okay, SQL have some advantages. What are those? High speed. Okay, no coding needed. Okay, here we are not required any coding. Okay, directly we have to write some query in the form of English. Next, well defined. Okay, this is a well defined, long established are used by SQL database that are being used by ISO. Next, portability. SQL can be used in the laptop, or means portability means we can access anywhere. That is called as a portability. Okay, we can access, suppose if you take some languages we cannot access from the mobile. Okay, nowadays no problem, but some languages we cannot access. Okay, some softwares we cannot access, some mobile apps. Okay, some mobile apps we cannot access from the laptop and PCs, but this is a portability we can access in the laptop, PCs and mobiles. Next, interactive language. SQL is an interactive language. Okay, when interactive language is nothing but, okay, if you write a program, the program is common to all. Okay, sum of two numbers. If you write, suppose C equal to A plus B, when we enter the values, based on the values we can print the value, but it is interactive. The user can, as a user I am giving, I want to retrieve my data. Suppose where username is Praveen, suppose some other Ravi, student Ravi wanted to retrieve the data where student name or employee number equal Ravi. We can get only some domain language based, means this is an interactive language. Based on the user require, we can access, and also it is used to receive any complex questions. Okay, suppose if you wanted to complex questions is we will continue with the nested sessions after completion of, as a part of our SQL. We'll discuss about nested queries. At the time query is some complex, means nested query is nothing but we have to write more than one query in a single statement. At the time the data may be complex, but by using SQL we can retrieve any type complex data also. Okay, that is about these are the advantages and characteristics of the SQL. Now we go with the SQL data type. Okay, SQL is a language. Okay, structured query language. I think already you know, if any language has a specific data type. Anyone know what is the data type? Any answers? Yes, please type. Please give some chat box. Please give your answers from the chat box. What is the data type? Yes, data types are used to allocate the memory. Okay, why we are allocate the memory? Why we are allocate the memory? Okay, allocate the memory. Why we are allocate the memory? What is the need of allocation of memory? Yes, yes. Suppose I'm giving one example to you. Suppose if you wanted to book, okay, if you want to, you are staying in your hostel or room. Okay, you are celebrating your birthday party. Okay, if you wanted to, if you are informed to your brother, I wanted to celebrate my birthday party with my friends. Okay, automatically your brother asks a question. What is the question? Yes, why? In the pandemic situation, why? No. Okay, you're requesting your brother, please brother, I wanted to, yes, Yes, I wanted to call all my friends. No, your brother said, no, this is a pandemic situation. Please decide yourself. Then you said, just I want to call only some 10 friends. Only 10 friends. Okay, your wish. Okay, you call only 10 friends. Why? Because right now we are in the pandemic situation, Corona. Okay, we are not. Uh, 1 minute. Okay, you can celebrate your party with the only limited people. Okay, that's why you inform to your friend, you inform to your brother, only I call 10 members. Okay, based on the 10 members only, your brother give order. In your room, you and your brother and your 10 members of friends. Okay, that's why your brother give order from how many members by Zomato? Yes, only 10 members or 100 members? How many members? Please give reply in chat box. Yes, 12 members. Very good. Only for 12 members. Your brother gave reply 12 members. He is giving reply for 12 members. Okay. Why? Okay. He is not giving. Okay. Regularly you are giving only for 2 members. But today your birthday. That's why your brother give order for 12. Or suppose if anyone wants to eat more, that's why around 12 to 13. Similarly, data type, not only irrespective of any language, data type is used for to allocate the memory. To allocate the memory, we are using data type. Okay. Basically, in the SQL also support some binary data type, numeric data type, exact number data type, string data type, and date data type. Okay. Okay, these are the suppose numeric data type and data or again this is a detail. Okay, anyway we'll discuss binary data type. What is binary data type? Okay, binary data type, variable binary data type, image binary data type. I think binary data type is nothing but this is zeros and ones is nothing but a binary data type. Okay, if you want to represent data in the form of binary, if you are working with some binary data, low data, we go with the binary data type. Okay, it has a maximum length of 88,000 bytes. Okay, it contains a pixel length binary data. Okay, next variable binary length. It has a maximum length. It also support for 80 bytes, 8,000 bytes, 8k bytes, but it contains variable length binary data. I think you know what is the pixel length and what is the variable length. Suppose if you are declared one variable, some binary A, okay, var binary, okay, some B. Here you initialize value, binary value 15, 1, 1, 1, 1. Here you initialize value some 16, 1, 16. Okay, when you initialize the value, this is a fixed length. Fixed length is nothing but it allocate total. Actually, how much memory you have to require? Only 1, 2, 3, 4 bytes of memory. For example, 4 bytes of memory. But it can allocate 8,000 bytes of memory. Okay, whereas in the variable binary, here it can allocate only 5 bytes of memory. That is the difference between the fixed length and binary length. And also images. Okay, in the binary format, it can allow the maximum length is some. This is the range of the image length, and also it contains the variable length of binary. Next one is numeric data. There are around, it suppose 9. 9 is nothing but again we have an integer and small integer, long integer, like that, bit, decimal and numeric. Okay, we will discuss detail of data type. Means okay, we are declared as an integer, or actually in a SQL we are number, we are declaring as a number or int. Okay, suppose if you are using a small integers, we are go with the small int. Okay, if you are using the bit value, we are go with the bit. Okay, a decimal value, we go with the decimal, all those things. Next one is character data type. What is the character data type? What is the need of character data type? Okay, it has a maximum length of 80,000 characters. Okay, it contains a fixed length. I think already you know what is a fixed length and what is a variable length. Okay, fixed length is nothing but, suppose if you have to declare, suppose S1. Okay, suppose some Eazy Btech, you are declaring as a Eazy Btech. This is a character Eazy Btech. Okay, for 1 minute, I'm not comfort with this. Suppose here you are declaring as a, suppose some variable 1. Okay, the value is some Eazy Btech. Okay, this is declared as a char. Okay, second variable 2 also Eazy Btech with variable is varchar. Okay, varchar. What is the difference between the first variable and second variable? What is the maximum size? The maximum size is 8000 characters. Okay, it can allocate total 8000 characters in the first situation for variable 1, whereas in variable 2 is a varchar. Okay, it can allocate only the contain the variable length, non-unicode character. This is a Unicode character. Okay, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only it can allocate 11 bytes of memory. Means 11 bytes of memory. Okay, when we are using a character, it can allocate total fixed length. Okay, it can allocate variable length. Okay, this is the difference between the character and varchar. And also we have one more data type, varchar 2. Okay, varchar 2. What is varchar 2? What is the difference? Very important question in a interview. What is the difference between the varchar and varchar 2? Varchar and varchar 2 both are a variable length, but this is a ANSI. Okay, this is a ANSI, but varchar 2 is a oracle. It may be worked as a ANSI data type, it worked as a oracle data type. Okay, means, okay, ANSI is nothing but we have a American Standard Code for ASCII values. We have a ASCII values. By using that, we can represent the value. But varchar 2 is a oracle. It support for the oracle. Suppose if you take null value. Okay, when we are using the null, okay, it considered as a null. Suppose we have no hash key value for null. Okay, there is a at the time if you have to declare any variable as a varchar value as a null. Okay, here we have some problem. That's why the recommended is varchar 2. When you are working with the characters in a data type, okay, recommended one is varchar 2. Yes. Next, text data. We have to declare as a text data. This is the range of the text data. If still you have any doubts regarding varchar 2 and varchar, please let me know. Please comment me. I will clear your doubts. Next one is date data type. Okay, in the database we have a normal numbers, characters, and also date. Okay, we have SQL support. Normally in other programming language we have no specific data type as a date, but in the SQL we have a date data type. Okay, at the time of creation of tables, okay, I'm explaining what about the format of a date. Okay, we are specifying some month, date, year, like that, or if you wanted to change, we can change format also. This is about the date data type. Okay, okay, next SQL commands. Okay, to access the data from SQL we have to require some commands. Yes or no? Okay, the SQL has a 4 types of commands. Okay, data definition language, data manipulation language, data query language, and data control language. In the next session we continue with what is data definition language, what is data, all the different types of languages.